Hello. Right, as requested, I'm going to do a video about acid lines. I'm still new to videos, so apologies if there's any stumbling with me words, etc. I'm also recording from home, so you might hear my brother in the background. But anyway, without further ado, let's carry on. So we've got a lot to talk about, so it's probably going to be a fairly long video. I'm using FL Studio and I'm using Transistor Bass, which is FL's emulation of Roland's 303. Now, obviously, if you're going to create acid lines, I recommend an actual emulation and not using a synth. Yeah, you can get some great acid sounds in synths, but it's still not the same. It doesn't contain the little nuances that the original 303 did, especially when slide steps go into non-slide steps and accents and etc. To create that, you have to model it on the original hardware, which is what these emulations do. So yeah, Transistor Bass is FL's one. There's one from one called AGL free, baseline free, I think, or something like that. I'll have to find out and put a link. But yeah, obviously you probably know that already, so let's carry on. So there's two aspects I'm going to be talking about: the actual patch itself and the actual sequencing. So, I mean, I've got this at the moment. I'll play it and then we'll play around with it. Okay, so what I want to talk about first is the sequencing. So, yeah, let's clone this actually, just so we've got it how it was. Right, go back to this one. Let's clear this. Yes. So, in my opinion, it's always better to have more gated steps than slide notes, and then more slide notes than accents. So let's start with just the gated notes. So yeah, you just do a run of gated notes to start with. Well, actually, we'll just play the first bar of this patterns. Let's see. Okay. Right. So this is how I personally usually start the sequence. I just do a straight run of gated sounds and I play with the gate length. Now, you want to use the gate length in combination with the Vca Smooth. That stands for voltage controlled amplitude. I'll play around with both of these now so you can hear what they do. So the gate length first. Okay, I'll just reset that to the default, and now we'll play with the Vca Smooth. So you should be able to hear that. Obviously, the gate length is self-explanatory. That's making it more choppy. And with fast-style music, especially if you've got a high BPM, then you want to keep it quite rhythmical. Or if that's a word, rhythmical. Yeah, you want to keep it fairly gated to get that choppy nature. Because if it's too far to the right like this, they'll start bleeding into each other. The Vca Smooth has a similar effect to a delay, a slight delay basically. It's almost like a flam effect after each note. There's like a delayed note in a way. So I'll start turning that up and you can hear. See, it's kind of like da 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 da. Put the gate right down just to show you. If you listen to like, you can feel the wave. Sort of like a train track. And yeah, obviously this is shorter this way as well, but as I say, this puts like a sort of flam effect. Okay, the next thing to mention is reverb and especially delay sounds amazing on acid lines, but personally I've had it on there, but I like to take it off when I'm designing the sequence and the patch, because I personally view the reverb and the delay as like the icing on the cake, and I find that can cloud me judgments on certain things, especially when I'm doing the gate length like I just did. So personally I try and get it sounding good without either reverb or delay, and then add that afterwards. So now we'll add the slide notes in and just play around so that you get a nice rhythm. Basically the slide notes is similar to portamento, and yeah, it'll join the notes together. If you want to cut a slide note, you need a gated note after it. So for example, let's clear this. Clear, yes, I've just cleared you. No, it's not clearing that. Right, so if you had this will play a long slide note. The slide cuts wherever you put the next gated note. So this gated note on the second 16th note will actually not play. All that means is it's cutting this slide note here, so you won't actually have a note played here. So for example, if we put a gated note here, you'll hear there'll be a slide note, a little gap, and then a gated note. If we take out this gated note, it'll slide longer to there. And that's what slide notes do. If you change the pitch here, it will slide up to that pitch. See, you can hear that there. Just reset that. Go here, reset that 1 second. Right, so yeah, so as I say, what I do, I have a gated run like that. I set my gate length where I want it, so let's do that. And me Vca Smooth. So we'll just keep it there for now, and then I'll start playing with the slide notes. So you can hear straight away with a couple of slide notes only, it's getting a nice rhythm. Take your time with this, put the metronome on if you want as well. So yeah, quite like that. So you don't want to overdo it. If I put loads of slide notes in, you'll see. It's just too complicated, and also the beauty of the slide gets lost. It's a bit like piercings on your face. If you've got hundreds of piercings on your face, they all just blend into a mess, and they don't make a certain feature of your face stand out. Whereas if you just have, say, one piercing by your lips, they might highlight your lips, for example. So it's similar with this slide note. You want to just highlight certain areas. So we'll keep it like that for now. Then you can add your accents in, and as I say, you want to have less accents than your slide notes. So that's got a nice rhythm to it. Now, you've got an accent button here, and this is on pretty much every emulation, and that's the cutoff just for the accents. So if I turn this down, you can hear that effect in that. Okay, so that's what I usually do to get a sequence going. And you'll notice they're all on C5 here. And you can play around with the octaves now. Keep the majority in the one octave. You can raise or lower the whole pattern to see if it sits nicer in a better octave. So for example, this is all C6 now. That's too high for me. Let's put it down 2 octaves so it's one below what we had it. So it's C4 now. And that's too low. So it was fine where it was at C5. But what you can do is change the octaves of the odd note. So let's have a go doing that. So let's change this one here to an octave up. That's quite nice. I'll take it back down so you can hear the difference. Back up. Put 2 of them up now. Quite like that. Let's keep that for now. Also, you want to try and not fanny about. Now, I am well known for fannying about. I could happily sit here all day just tweaking this and get nothing done. And to be honest, that's what I do with a lot of things, not just acid sounds. When I went to Amber's, she'll tell you I got a great acid sound on the go, and it was good enough as a placeholder for what we were doing. And I was just fannying about, and she was like, "This sounds all right now. Let's just keep that." And I was like, "Oh, I'll just do this. I'll just do that." So I just recommend trying to be quick, because inevitably you'll probably end up changing this stuff back again. So you're best just doing stuff quickly, and it'll all eventually sit right then. So next, we've done the slide notes here, but they're all the same length. So let's have a go now at putting some, making some slide notes longer and see what that sounds like. play it quite like that. So the very last slide is twice as long. So you know it's an eighth. Let's say 2/16. Sorry, not an eighth. Quarter note. No, I was right. Sorry, it's an eighth. Oh. Anyway, it's twice as long. It's 2/16 in length now, and all the others are just one step. What you can also do is put gaps in between the gated steps. So if I was to turn this one off, as I say, that would be elongating this slide, and that's not what I want to show you. But if we put a gap here, this will be adding a gap after the gated notes. So that can give good rhythm as well. We'll have a little play. Probably get away with one round here. And when the delay's added in, that might sound alright. But personally, at the moment, I'm liking pretty much full steps. The gated steps filled. That sounds really well a lot of the time, keeping the gated steps filled all the way. But as I say, the odd gap can give a nice rhythm. But for this, I think I'm going to keep them all filled. As I say, this one is elongating the slide, so that's different. Okay, so that's the sequencing done. Oh yeah, and then well, obviously you can change the notes within an octave as well. So obviously here we've changed to a higher octave, but if you want to make obviously melody, then you can do that as well. I recommend keeping the majority on the root note, but you know, we can play around. Let's have a go. So that sounds quite nice. I've already got a bass change, so those note changes within the pattern itself might not work, but let's have a listen. Go to song mode. Yeah, so they don't work for this bit, so I'm going to put them back to straight C's. Okay, so that's the sequencing talked about. Right. As you can see, I've done this in the piano roll. Get this out the way. They're on detached mode. So yeah, we've got the full pattern playing for the first bar, and then it repeats because I've chopped it up here. So as you can see on the light displays at the bottom. And for FL, you can create different patterns. You see these on the notes, they represent a different pattern, which can have a different sequence and patch as well. But what I've done, I've kept it on the one pattern and chopped it up, and I've pitched each note here. Oh, my neck's killing at the most, so don't know how long I'll stay doing this, but hopefully get through everything. Right. So yeah, where was I? Right. Let's think. Different sound. Well, yeah. So you've got your waveform, and you've got square and saw, and on FL's emulation you can blend between the two. You can't do that on every emulation, but you can on this one. I'm just going to right click and copy, so if I don't like what I change it to, I can paste it back then. That's quite a good tip. Always right click and copy value, or just press C on the keys. So this is all the way to square, and this is all the way to saw, and I'm going to put it back where I had it, which is a blended amount. FL allows your pulse width modulation as well, and not all emulations do that. You can turn that off here and it'll sound different. Both sound good, just both different. So one of the tips I was saying is for the odd note as well. It doesn't even have to be dead on the note. It could be halfway into a note. You could change a few settings and automate it. So for example, you could change the waveform to just change on a certain note. So we'll have a go with that. Let's find another position that we like the sound of. Let's just leave it at the very end there, and we'll automate that in a particular section. So just for this purposes, I'm going to go back to pattern mode. So it loops the one bar. And let's see. Because we're going to do the end, we don't need to do this. But if you wanted to say do it there, you'd also right click and copy, and that'll come in handy for the automation, because you can paste in the point. You've got two options now. You can either right click, create automation clip, and you could do it on the playlist, or you can right click and do edit events, and you can do it within the pattern itself. I'm just going to do that for easy sake. Right, so let's paste back the original value we had, and then you go to, if you want to do it this way, when you go to edit events, a handy tip, get it to the position you want, go to the event editor window so that's in focus, and then you hold Control and I. There you go, and it pastes automatically the amount where the control's currently positioned at. So like I say, if I go, let's see if I put it, so then now if I put it to the end here, and let's put that, say, there. It's changed it back because we moved the playhead, so then we've got to put it back now on the waveform here to the end, and then we go back to here, hold Control I, and it'll paste the amount in where you want it there. So let's listen to that. So just for argument's sake, let's keep that, and we'll copy that across 4 times because the pattern's 4 bars, and then go back to song mode. Let's have a listen. I'm not too fond or happy with that. Doesn't sound that great, but if you play around, you can get good results doing that, just automating it in key little places, change the waveform, or other knobs here. Right, okay, so I'm going to delete that anyway and continue. Come on, delete. Control A, X. Right. So I talk to myself when I'm on here. Okay, so high passing. So high passing before the distortion is very important. Now, this particular emulation comes with distortion built in. And by the way, this on FL is not your final output. It's actually this. So when you have your distortion off, this is the final output. But when you have the distortion on, this is feeding the distortion, and then this volume is actually the final output. So let's put this back on. Now, it's very important high passing before your distortion to get the right sound, and I'll show you how dramatic it is. Just copying and pasting again the position. See, that's with no high passing at all. We've got the drive, and see how crap it sounds. If we go too high, then we lose a lot of that grit. So let's blend it back. And then play with the drive as well. Sometimes the full drive's a little bit too harsh, and not enough, doesn't give any grit again. But if you want that acid house sound and you don't want that Josh Wink sound, then where it is here is fine. But you know, if you want that proper hard trance, hard house sound, then yeah, you want to whack it up. If you whack it up too high, it can get quite noisy. So I'm gonna just slightly pull back. You've got a tone control here as well. It's basically like a low pass filter. Okay, let's see. Now, as I say, this has got reverb and delay built in, but personally, I prefer adding that in the mixer because I can send that to another track. And so there's the acid here. Yeah. And I can send that to another track, and then I can EQ, even distort if I want, the acid separate. Because you don't have to use this distortion, you can add a distortion in the mixer. And then the beauty of that is, say you add a distortion here, you could use a fruity send here, so you could send your delay and or reverb before the distortion, and then you could have a clean reverb and delay, or you could distort it yourself with different settings. It's up to you, basically. It's just more control. So, oh yeah, I'll just show you the web page. This distortion here built in is based on a very famous distortion guitar pedal that was used on acid, and it's called the Pro Rat. And there's a VST emulation as well you can get. I personally think the VST emulation, which I'm going to show you now, sounds better than FL's one. I'm not saying that FL's one is bad. I'm just saying I prefer this one. I'll just show you on the website. Okay, where are we? Right, let's get to it. Right, I'm just finding it now. 1 sec. Okay, it's by tseaudio.com, and they've got other guitar pedals, distortion units, but it's this one. So this is an emulation of the ProRat R47, and I really recommend it. I haven't actually downloaded it yet because I'm on my laptop, not on the studio computer. But you can download that and you can add it to a mixer channel, and you can use it in combination with this. Actually, sounds quite nice, or you can just use it in replace of. Right, let me go back and see what else I talked about on the Facebook group, which reminds me for this video. Okay, let's go. Yes, nice. Got too many tabs open, you see, so I can't find Facebook tab. Oh, there we go. Just gone past it. Okay, let's have a look what I said. Done that. I passed pre-distortion. Yeah, said that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I said that. I will go into this now. And this. Oh yeah, so you can have 2 acid lines as well. I wouldn't really do any more than 2. You know, but you could possibly get away with 3, but I don't have too many. What you can do, if you want, but it gives a different sound. So we've got our gated notes and our slide notes. If you wanted to, you could clone this and have your gated notes separate, and then your slide notes, and then you could have a slightly different patch as well. The only problem with that is these notes are obviously sliding into these gated notes, and when you have 2 of them, it slightly changes it, because the original hardware, you would have just had the 1 unit. But yeah, feel free to play around with that. But as I say, what you can do, I have 2, and I have 2 completely separate patterns that just play off one another well. So you can pan left and right. You can have one more complicated and one more stripped back. You can also do this. Let's clone that again. Right. So what you could do is clear this. You could have one long slide note sitting underneath. Let's get rid of these. My mouse is going dead slow. My computer's poo. Right, so let's play this on its own. Put the decay up for this, and possibly the envelope modulation. Sounds nice. So that adds a nice feel underneath, and then you can play around with the patch. Don't completely change the patch. You want to have consistencies, but you can also make a difference. So good. You could just listen to this all day, couldn't you? Right, so let's delete that. I don't need that. That was just to show you that. Let's go back here, see if I missed anything. see. Oh yeah, okay, so you can add a bandpass to finish it off. So like I said, add a high pass pre-distortion, but it's coming in here. So where am I? I actually had these settings for the acid. Hang on. This is, I've done this the wrong way around. Sorry, one sec. Let me sort this. So I want that to go to 2 now, and then my metronome can go to 3. You might be able to hear some sounds in the background, just my brother in the kitchen doing the dishes. Okay, so yeah, just for easiness, I'd use the Fruity Parametric EQ2 or a third-party EQ myself. I don't tend to use these because there's not as much control, but I've just done it for easiness. I've took off a bit of the lows and then a little bit of the highs. So that's to finish the sounds off. It's only subtle, but you can go as extreme as you want. I've had a little sip of my tea there. It's gone cold. Right. What was next? I might edit this video on so I'm not going back and forth on here, making it longer for you guys. Oh yeah, I've talked about that before. Right, so now is my little tips that I do for automation. This is probably the one that you were waiting for most. Right. So obviously with acid, it's all about the cutoff. But what you want to do is you want to tailor the position, the min max settings of a few particular knobs centered around cutoff position. So I'll demonstrate what I mean. Like for example, in Josh Wink Higher State of Consciousness, when it gets really screamy, the high pass will help with that sound in a different position to where it currently is. So I'll show you what I mean. So we've got that there, but I can make that sound much better by increasing the high pass here. It's much cleaner in the higher register. The screaminess is coming through much better. The only problem with that is then when the cutoff is lowered, this won't sound as good. It's lost that bite. It's lost that energy and the grit. So, this is the tips I was talking about. what you do, you create an automation clip for these, for certain controls. You can do as for many as you want, but the high pass on the distortion is a key one. So let's create automation clip. And then what you do is kind of choose, I mean, you'll adjust this as you go, but kind of choose where you think the lowest possible position of your cutoff is likely to go, like where it won't go lower than that point. So to help with that, I'm going to turn the distortion off. So I quite like it there. It loses a bit of its character lower. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that's the lowest position that you want your cutoff. So now you're going to set your min and max knobs around this cutoff position. So leave your cutoff position there, and then we'll put the distortion back on and get an optimum position based on where that cutoff is now. I wish this mouse would hurry up. Slower than a tortoise. Right. Right, let's play around. Too low. Don't know why that's jumping to there. I must have initialized that somehow. I'm not on the new FL with the new uninitialized feature. Let's just check if I've initialized that. Sorry for the delay. Where are we? Patterns. I've forgotten where it is. I think it's in here. Show patterns. Where's, oh yes, patterns. Pattern 1. No, I mustn't have initialized it. I must have drawn in some automation. Sorry, there's noise in the background there. Right. Sorry about this, guys. Don't know where that's gone. Don't know why that's jumping to there. Oh, I've got it linked to the controller, haven't I? Okay, so don't know why that's gone to there. Come on, mouse, hurry up. Fucking hell. Yeah, I was linked to controller, didn't even see the tick. Right, so let's get a position again. Okay, so let's say, for argument's sake, we like that position there for when the cutoff's in its lowest point that we're going to have it in our song. So you right click and copy the value. Sorry, squeaky doors. Then you go to your automation clip and you go to min and you right click and paste that in. Right, I'm going to change mouse pad, see if that works. Fucking worse. You know, not in a good mood now. Okay, so then you set your some certain other controls around that as well. So for example, your resonance. So let's do that. Well, I like it up full, so yeah, we'll make an automation clip for that. Create automation clip. Okay. So we like it up the top here, so that would be our max value for the resonance. so we don't have to do anything for that. Okay. Then you can basically do this for different controls. So just play around. I'm just going to exit Google Chrome because this is going super slow. Look at the state of that. Come on. I know, what's up with you? Fuck off. Oh, that's the wrong FL. I don't want that one. Come on. Hurry up. My computer's needs reinstalling, I tell you. Right. Right. This is a high pass as well, but this is a different high pass. This high pass you can play with when the distortion's off. Come on, mouse. What's up with you? So obviously, because the cutoff's low, we want the high pass to be lower because obviously we want to contain some of that low frequency. So let's say we like it there, then, you know, copy, create automation clip. Right click. Come on. This is all you're going to hear now, just me complain about this fucking mouse. For fuck's sake. Right. Then you go to that, which we've just created. Drag it across here because that's detached the other window. Come on, hurry up, you slow fucker. I'll have to do another video. This is taking the piss. Right, copy that amount by pasting it in there. So that's reflecting that. Right, this is taking too long, so let's just show you then what you do. Then you put the cutoff to the highest position you want it. Oh, fuck off, hurry up, I only want to turn the fucking knob. Fucking hell. To use the mouse wheel, that's a bit better. Right, so let's just say we want it, we're going to have it whacked fully up. As I said, we want to play with the high pass before the distortion. See, not many people do this. They'll set the high pass, they'll know about that bit where they want it, but they'll leave it. They won't set a min and max based on the cutoff positions. And this is a great tip. So that's up full, but I'm just going to pull it back a little bit. So I will do the same for the drive and a few others, but this is taking too long because this computer's going slow for some reason. So copy value, then go to here and find that's it, the high pass on the distortion there, and then set that as your max by right clicking and pasting. Okay. Okay, so now when you go to your playlist, you can draw all these in from your min to your max, and then this will keep the sound optimum because it will be adjusting based on the cut-off position. Now there's two ways to do this. This is the long-winded way. And now this is a nightmare, this I tell you. Right, I've got to go back to here and create automation clip for the cut-off as well. Now this is what I should have done. Okay, I've done something wrong. I should have created an automation clip for the cutoff, so I could have copied the low position before, because I've now changed this and I've forgotten where I had it. So, but I remember sort of, and I'll just do it for demonstration purposes. Oh, come on, mouse, bloody hell. It was around about, oh no, it was a bit higher than that actually. It was around about there. So let's just, for argument's sake, copy that. Create automation clip. We're going fully to the top, so I didn't need to copy and paste for the other way. So create automation clip. Hurry up, you fucking twat. Oh yeah, now. Right, so min, we want to paste that in there, and then we want to draw it in on playlist. I'd press the shortcut, but the shortcut keys aren't working either. Right, so now the cutoff. So we're going to draw the cutoff the same as, oh yeah, I already had the cutoff, didn't I? Oh, that's strange. Hang on, one sec. That's cut off. That's the high pass before the distortion. That's the resonance, and that's the high pass. So I haven't got two. Oh, that's strange. Where's the two in there? Sorry. In long tutorial this because of this fucking mouse. Resonance. Oh, I've just duplicated it, that's all. Right, it's because I selected it, it was a different colour. I thought it was a duplicate automation clip, and it wasn't. Right, so we want to draw this the same as all the others. Now, this is the long-winded approach. What you can do is create a separate automation clip, and then you link all these automation clips to that one automation clip. So you just have one automation clip with this pattern, whatever pattern you want to draw it in, because they all have to be the same. And that's the quicker way. But I'm just keeping it all drawn the same. So as you can see, when it gets to the top, because these are changing as well, it's a much more nicer, consistent sound. So now, why the fuck is this one's not changing? Has it got some edit events in, has it? Let's just pull this. Whether it's working and it's just not showing it visually, this should be moving up and down. Now, why aren't you doing it? Let's mute it and see if it changes distortion, high pass. Just there. Yeah, that's not moving up like it should. It should do though, but for some bloody reason it's not. I don't get why it's not, because there we go, we've got it there. Right, let's copy that. Create a new automation clip. Now, these are the min and max as well, by the way. Paste, and then this one, wasn't it? Copy, paste. Hopefully this works. So delete that one. The beauty of the min and max is you can just go on here 0 to 100. Now let's see if this bloody works. Ah, that's working now. So I don't know why it wasn't like. Should be going higher than that though. I had it. Sure, I had it up here. See. Yeah, so it was up there. Yeah, it was around up there, wasn't it? So let's copy that. See, it's linked it. Sorry, I'm having a right day. Started off so well. Which one was it? It was this one, wasn't it? Yes, so max. Paste. Fucking hell, come on. I want to click. Why is that doing that? The min is in the right position, but this is not going up where it should be. It should be going right up to the top. It's probably because it's FL 20.6. It was dead buggy. Let's compare anyway and mute these. So obviously if you take these off now and just keep the cutoff. The others aren't changing with it, so the sound isn't as good. I mean, I'm rushing through it, but basically the point is set your knobs, especially the high pass for distortion, based on your lowest cutoff position that you're going to use, and then set your positions of the same knobs for whatever your maximum cutoff position is that you're going to use, so that your sounding the best wherever the cutoff goes. Yeah, so let's take these off now again. See, that made it sound good with the lowest position, but then because it doesn't change once the cutoff gets higher, it's just not working. So that's the beauty of having these. As I say, you can affect these all from one automation clip, and you don't have to draw all these in. Then you just link all these automation clips to a brand new automation clip. Knock my microphone off. Right. Okay. I think I'm realising what I've done. Right, let's have a think. Yeah, because the resonance is all the way down here when it starts, which it shouldn't be. It should be high up. And then when it starts, when the cutoff gets higher, this should reduce a little bit. So I've probably done these the wrong way around. Let's just try. There is a way to do it. Resonance, let's have a look. Off. Get this undetached because it's getting on me tits. Yeah, why is that not got its min and max? I put the min and max in before. That's pissed me off, this. Aye. So, full resonance. Full beam, as Alan Partridge would say. Copy. Min, paste. Max was slightly pulled back on it, and I can't be bothered listening now because this tutorial's taken too long. Right. Copy. Paste. Right, let's try that. That's better. The reason it's not worked is because this high pass hasn't gone in the positions I told it to. It does normally work. Last time I did it, didn't have these issues. It's always the way when you want to show someone something. Right. So that's off anyway, so that doesn't matter. It's starting off in the right position, this high pass here on distortion, but it should be going right up, and it's just not. Fucking hell, come on, mouse. Oh, I've got a right headache now. Yeah, that's because of that, innit? Fucking what are you doing there? Pissing me about. Ah, that's it. That's doing it. Come on, mouse, hurry up. Hell. See, it's screaming a lot better. If I turn this off, I'll show you. Come on. Hurry up. Okay, now. Come on! It's fucking slower than a geriatric porn star. Fuck's sake. Right. Fucking hell. So the high pass for the distortion is in the right place when it starts, and I'll turn it off so that it remains in the same place when the cutoff gets high, and you'll hear it doesn't sound as good. See, when it gets to the scream a bit, well, now if I put this back in, sounds much better. And I've just rushed it because this mouse is pissing me off. But that's that. Now, the last tip is moving the cutoff in two ways. So the cutoff is going up, but what we want it to do is we want it to go in a pattern at the same time as going up. So I'll show you how you do that. So let's see. So imagine we've got to go back to there actually. Now, this is why you need an automation clip linked to all these, because look, what I'm going to do, create a pattern here. and these all need to be the same, ideally. But I'm gonna sod these off for now just to show you. I didn't want to do that. Come on. Right. So let's go and make a different pattern actually on here. Articulated tools. Where is it? Oh no, it's on this, isn't it? Let's these fucking mouse. Delete. 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 Could have done this so much quicker if this mouse was working. It's the computer as well. Anyway, right, so need to right click here. Fucking hell, come on. Look at this mouse. Right, and go into pulse. And then drag the middle, if I can find it now. Hang on. Move this. Right, so the middle will be there. See. Turn this. You don't have to do it this way, but if you create a pulse, there we go. Let's create a pulse pattern. Right, so we'll leave it like that for now, and then we'll reduce the minimax on this. Cut off. Come on, you stupid control. Min-max. Right. So you can see we've got movement on the cutoff, and we wanted to keep on doing that pattern, but whilst also getting higher and higher, or lower and lower, basically whatever you set it to. So we need to create a second automation clip. Okay. Come on. Right, add. Oh, sorry guys, there's noise upstairs again. Automation clip, there you go. And then we need to link. Sorry, just figuring this out. Right, so that's cut off there. And then, right, so and this one, 1 sec. Yeah, I remember what I needed to do now. I think these go to that way. 1 sec. I think I've remembered a different way to do it. Come on, I only want to get to this point here. Take this mouse. Come on. Okay, now. I'm going to have to edit this video. Sorry if you've watched all this. You deserve a wagon wheel after that. Right. No, come on, get off. Oh, my head's killing now. Okay, so I know it sounds rubbish, I'm just demonstrating. You can do it with one automation clip actually. So what you do is you turn on the LFO, so you can actually keep your min and max, which was around about there, and then the max was full, wasn't it? Which it's already on, I think. Come on, mouse. Yeah, it's on full. Right, so now the cutoff will rise from the minimum setting, which is around here, to the top, but it'll also move in a separate pattern as well, done by this LFO. So let's play that. Let's see if it visually updates you as well. Yeah, it visually updates you, so if we double click that, visually updates you what's happening. Now, it doesn't show the rising now, it shows you what the LFO was doing, but the rising is still in the background happening. So like if I turn this off, you'll see we've still got our other points and they're still active in the background. Turn the LFO on and you can see what you're doing then. Now, if you want a more complicated way of doing that, you can obviously right-click these and create automation clips for these as well. Or you could just keep it simple like that. But that's a way to get one knob moving in more than one way at the same time. Right, so that's that. And then, yeah, I'll have to do another video to do this better because it's this mouse was all slow ass. But I'm gonna have to end it there for now.